Rast found himself in the Adventurers Guild where a girl named Narasina approaches him. Narasina introduces herself, saying she's a warrior. Rast, a healer, responds to her, though he seems hesitant. The guild employee, Amast, introduces herself and explains Rast's reputation. Amast tells Narasina that Rast is known for being an incompetent healer, only capable of basic healing magic. She explains that despite being an adventurer since childhood, he can't perform advanced healing spells. Rast was recently expelled from his previous party, the Sword of Lightning, because he couldn't use detoxification magic. Narasina, however, is determined to team up with Rast, ignoring the warnings about his supposed incompetence. She shows she has enough money for them to get by, alleviating concerns about financial issues. Amast warns about the dangers of associating with Rast due to his reputation, but Narasina remains undeterred. Narasina reveals she had wanted to team up with Rast since long ago, surprising him. They proceed to officially form a party by filling out the guild's team application form. After leaving the guild, Narasina is excited about their new team, while Rast remains cautious. They discuss their next steps, with Narasina eager to dive into the labyrinth, despite Amast's advice to start with simpler tasks. Rast explains the dangers and structure of the Madat labyrinth, suggesting they start with less challenging areas. They decide to explore the labyrinth, with Narasina taking the lead as the vanguard. Upon entering the labyrinth, they encounter goblins, which Narasina handles with ease. They collect magic stones from the defeated goblins, which are the primary currency for adventurers. Narasina's combat prowess becomes evident when she quickly dispatches several monsters. Rast is amazed by Narasina's strength, contrary to what was said about him. They discuss the value of magic stones, with Rast explaining they fetch a better price when from stronger monsters. Narasina asks how much the goblin stones would be worth, to which Rast replies it's not much. They decide to venture deeper into the labyrinth, with Narasina promising to protect Rast if needed. Rast demonstrates his keen observation skills by spotting a trap, showing he has more capabilities than just healing. They discuss roles in a party, with Rast explaining he's picked up various skills over time. An unexpected encounter with a beast man, which is unusual for that level of the labyrinth, challenges them. They decide to fight the beast man together, showcasing their teamwork. After defeating the beast man, Narasina questions Rast's capabilities, surprised by his combat skills. Rast heals Narasina's minor injury, further proving his value in the team. They collect the larger magic stone from the beast man, which promises a higher price. They debate whether to continue exploring or return, ultimately deciding to hunt more monsters. Back at the guild, they sell their magic stones to Amast, who is visibly pleased with the amount and variety, hinting at her commission. Amast encourages them to keep bringing in more stones for her benefit. Rast ensures Narasina gets her fair share of the earnings from the day's haul. The conversation shifts to Rast's previous party, highlighting the unfair treatment he received regarding income distribution. Amast offers mediation services for disputes over earnings, which Rast declines, focusing on moving forward with Narasina. Rast counts the money, showing he's not as incompetent financially as rumored. A guild official, Hazem, questions Amast about Rast's visit, learning about the new team member. They go to an inn where the innkeeper teases about them sharing a room, which they clarify they won't. They decide to eat before resting, acknowledging the day's adventures. Narasina thanks Rast for the day, expressing her determination to protect him. Narasina shares her backstory, explaining how she trained to become an adventurer to join Rast, and how she changed her appearance, which is why he didn't recognize her. We see a flashback of Rast's previous team. Rast casts Heal on a teammate. The girl asks if healing can also detoxify, to which Rast responds that it can't, but slowly restoring strength will mitigate the poison's effects. The girl questions the purpose of Rast being in the party if he can't detoxify. A teammate impatiently urges them to return to battle. The girl, still weak, rhetorically asks how she could fight in her condition. A muscular teammate, referred to as a muscle brain, shows disinterest in their situation. The girl calls for Rast's help, but he admits there's nothing he can do without antidote potions. Rast is criticized for not preparing detoxification potions, leading to a heated exchange. The team member argues that the expensive antidotes are unaffordable. Rast is blamed for the team's failure, being called an incompetent healer. The mage, Amia, is instructed to use any offensive magic available. Amia casts a fireball, highlighting the team's desperation. Marugulus, the team leader, decides to retreat, criticizing the team's performance. The girl is shocked by Marugulus's decision to abandon them. Rast tries to aid Sibelia, who was poisoned, showing his commitment despite his limitations. Rast is expelled from the Sword of Lightning party, accused of causing their defeat against a Hydra. Rast is stunned by the sudden dismissal, reflecting on his nickname, Incompetent Rast. The team blames Rast, claiming his lack of skills led to their failure. Rast tries to defend himself, but is met with further criticism. The team decides to ask Amia for her opinion on who was at fault. The outcome seems clear to the team, with Amia's response being anticipated. Rast reflects on his expulsion, realizing how deeply it affected him. Flashback to 6 years ago when Rast was known as Incompetent Rast. Despite his reputation, Rast aspired to be a self-sufficient adventurer. He recounts how the Sword of Lightning invited him to join, giving him hope for a new beginning. However, he soon realized they needed him as bait rather than for his healing abilities. Rast reveals his dissatisfaction with being used as bait, highlighting his fears and dislikes. He explains his deepest sorrow was never being treated as a true adventurer by his former teammates. Rast ponders why he wanted to save the girl back then, still perplexed by his motives. He admits he can't fully understand his actions even now. He reflects on the harsh reality of being a labyrinth orphan whose life is considered valueless. But he muses that if he could save her with his life, it wouldn't be in vain. The girl wakes up, thanking Rast, crediting his efforts for surviving until the Knights arrived. Rast sees himself as still incompetent, despite his actions. The girl thanks Rast, calling him cool for his bravery. Rast heals the girl, using his heal spell. She expresses gratitude, but Rast downplays his role. Moved by the incident, the girl decides to become an adventurer to protect Rast in the future. She declares her intention to team up with him, giving Rast hope and motivation. Rast acknowledges her noble background, knowing becoming an adventurer is unlikely for her, yet her words inspire him. He decides to continue his journey as an adventurer, fueled by her encouragement. After meeting his mentor and training, Rast gains various skills necessary for adventuring, though still limited in healing. Reflecting on the girl's words, Rast realizes how pivotal they were in his decision to continue adventuring. The next morning, Naracina checks on Rast, suggesting they have breakfast together. They agree to explore deeper into the labyrinth, showing their growing partnership. They encounter a teleportation array, which Naracina has never seen before, adding intrigue to their adventure. Rast explains the limited use of the teleportation arrays, adding to the lore of the labyrinth. They discuss the strategic use of teleportation arrays for moving within the labyrinth, but not out of it. Naracina questions why such arrays aren't placed in town for convenience, leading to a discussion on their limitations. They delve deeper into the labyrinth, encountering a wraith, a ghost-like creature immune to physical attacks. Rast warns Naracina about the ineffectiveness of physical attacks against the wraith. Naracina attempts to fight it, learning quickly about its nature. Rast suggests retreating, but Naracina is determined to defeat it. Naracina reveals her ability to use prana, a form of energy, to make her attacks effective against the wraith. After defeating the wraith, Naracina gets injured, and Rast heals her with a magical device that enhances healing. He explains how magic stones from defeated monsters are used to create such devices, linking their adventures to the economy. They discuss the value of the wraith's magic stone, planning to sell it. At the guild, they sell the stone for a high price, much to their surprise and delight. However, their success catches the attention of some rough adventurers. With their earnings, they decide to treat themselves to a lavish meal, reflecting on the day's events. Naracina is excited about their success, but there's still a hint of concern about fitting into this world. She asks about mysterious structures around town, hinting at deeper mysteries to explore in future episodes. Rast explains what he knows about these structures, mentioning the chain of anonymity in their creation. They ponder the secretive nature of whoever commissioned these structures, suggesting deeper mysteries within the town. Naracina wonders if building walls would be more practical, leading to a discussion on the town's defense strategy. Rast notes the town's open design, which Naracina finds appealing but not conducive to defense. He explains that the sheer number of adventurers in town serves as its primary defense. They plan for the next day, with Naracina hesitating to say goodnight, hinting at her growing attachment to Rast. She struggles with expressing her desire to be closer to Rast, showing her internal conflict. Rast, in his room, reflects on how enjoyable it is to have a partner again. Thanks to Naracina, he thinks about the noble girl who inspired him, wondering if she'll ever show up. He's grateful to Naracina for giving him a reason to continue as an adventurer. The Sword of Lightning introduces their new healer, Lyra, to replace Rast. Lyra greets the team, eager to prove her worth. The team members are confident that with Lyra, they'll defeat the Hydra this time.